Traders, let me get this tweeted out so everybody can join in here. 1 second. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right, well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So what a day today. Another interesting day today, and could be an interesting night. We'll see how it goes through the rest of the year. We'll take a look at the futures in a little bit. Today we're going to be wrapping up our conversation on day trading clean charts. And today we're going to be talking about areas of interest. And so I think you guys will like this one too. And before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right, so first we're going to check and see where we left off the market here today, and then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what might be setting up into this evening, possibly into tomorrow morning. And then we'll go through the topic, then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so SPX. Whew, what a month so far. Okay, so up 39 points today, not so bad, but this red shooting star candle on the monthly chart off the upper Bollinger Band is a little bit sketchy, right? We go to the weekly chart. Well, we've been over the Cloud Canyon for several weeks right now, and once we got over that cliff right there, things started to get red, a little bit funky, right? We started working our way back up and thought, maybe we're working on like a wave 4 down, and, here, if we held this area of resistance as potential support and then work our way up to a wave 5 for all-time highs, but with the change of the cloud down here, right, kind of changes composure a little bit, and the volatility picks up again. So let's see how we hold, right? If we hold this level right here, this could be this still could be wave 4, this could be a wave 1, this could be wave 2, and we could see a massive move up, but that might be till after election, so we'll see how that goes. So daily chart, again, today was quite an interesting day. We had fun at the open, right? Got a quick short here off of yesterday's lows. Covered pretty quickly here, and then members got long through yesterday's range and got a really nice push up here today. So that was a great 180 move today. Let's take a look at the price action here intraday. Right, so you can see here, look at that. So Thursdays also have an 80% chance of a gap fill. So we did leave a gap right here, so that 80% was fulfilled. And we did push down initially, and then a great, this candle alone, just beautiful, right? I mean, 28 points off of this candle. Beautiful move. Right into yesterday's range, right? Got a little follow through after the 15-orb breakout, right? Nice little retrace right here to the 15-orb high inside 15. Another retrace, and then look at that. This type of buying right here is like just straight algo buying. Just boom, beautiful stuff. This is a very, very powerful move here. And we finally found resistance close to yesterday's highs. A couple upper shadows right here to bring us down, right? Back to the 80 MA, inside 15, up, and then whoop, no, just kidding, down. So it was a little bit of a tricky close right there, but they push it down. It's kind of hard to evaluate, right, what they were going to do today, right? So with the B5 or the some of the big names reporting, right? Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, right? A couple of those big tech names reporting tonight, that have high weightings on both the NASDAQ and the S&P. And so, what were they doing? Were they going to try to trick us out with a down move here and then start to rip it up again? Pretty crazy retrace right here, and pretty interesting stuff. I think they all beat on earnings, and I think they're all down anyway. So pretty interesting stuff. We'll take a look at the futures here in a little bit. But these are the levels we provide to our members for each market open, so you can see how nice these are, right? So yesterday's levels obviously very important here, right, to fill the gap. And then we worked our way back up. Volumetric levels definitely in play. Perfect target right here to the volumetric low, and then obviously to the middle range right here. A couple resistance levels here off of the off of these levels up here, right? So down, right? And then once we blew through there with some good volume, right? Next level's up, R1, right? And then we got to here, and we almost got to the other open gap above. They couldn't quite get there today, but what a push there! It's pretty impressive stuff. Let's take a look at the SP futures and see how they're behaving or misbehaving here this evening. So yeah, some nasty down move after the close, right? So this was the kind of the last candles right here. They tried to push it a little bit. Amazon had good earnings to start, right? And then they just flushed it at the close right there. So they're like, no, just bring it down, right? So they brought it down here today. So we'll see what they have in store. Kind of looking a little bit funky, right? So we got a couple things to look at going into this evening. So let me get a couple of these retraces off here. And you can see here we got this geometric line right now going today. So let's see. Oop, a little bit of a miss on that one. There. To there. Okay, so nice geometric line on that one. And of course we got this geometric line right here. Here to here. So let's see how those, if and how those levels get respected going into the rest of the evening. So they're trying to push above it, right? So we got over the 15 orb high from earlier today. We got a nice pop through that level here with some decent volume here for after hours trading. So we got about 1,600 contracts, a little more average volume than we saw kind of drifting up. So we'll see if we work up here, maybe get a bull flag and try to get its way up to the scene of the breakdown. So we'll see how that goes through the rest of the evening. So good stuff. So let's continue our conversation here on day trading clean charts. And today, again, we're going to be talking about areas of interest. And so cool topic right here. So when we talk about clean charts, this has been the focus of this week. One of the big things we like to do is just to be able to take a step back, right, and find out like what's going on, right? So sometimes indicators are really helpful, but remember, indicators lag price, they lag time, right, and they lag volume. Right? So they incorporate either one of those three components, and when you use those three components anyway, we get a good clue into what the market's doing, right? But we know the market likes geometry and respects it a lot of times, and so it can give us good clues into where the market may be heading. So when we have a clean chart, right, one of the things we like to look at, so let's go to the daily chart and just kind of take a look at this here. I'm going to do a clean chart. Let's take a look at let's take a look at Amazon, right? So they reported tonight. Okay, so one of the things we like to do is find out, right, where. Let's get a clean chart. So this is not a clean chart. Let's see how clean this is. That's got some verbiage on it here. Let's go C18. Let's make a fresh clean chart right here. So one of the things we like to look at are one of the areas of interest we like to look for. In addition, this week we talked about trend lines, right? We talked about support and resistance, right? We talked about chart patterns, and so. But one of the key areas is, and we've talked about this in the past, that we want to look for is like where price likes to hang out for a while, right? And then from there, what we can do is we just kind of put an area around there, and that becomes an area of interest, right? So here you can see we got really congested right here on Amazon for a little bit. Right, and then once we, try to break out of there a little bit, but once we could get out of there with some volume, right, things started to move, right? So these areas of interest become very important, right? So here you can see this is an area of interest potentially for the future, right? This nice congestion right here, area of interest, right? So here, look at all of this, right? So the big triangle right here, we've talked about that before. This became a huge area of interest, and you can see exactly what happened, right? So we broke out of that area of interest, that congestion zone, we came back to it, right? And then we push below it, and then once we get above it again, right, we can tell that price likes to hang out in this level. So it enjoys hanging out in the 3,200 level right before it starts to explore more. So this gives us a lot of clues into where things are going, and it also helps us on the intraday basis as well, right? So if we go to the just say we go to a clean 5-minute chart here on Amazon. So let me clean this off here. C19. Right, this helps us a lot too, especially when we go back in time. So one of the things we do is we take off the pre-market levels right here, the extended hours levels. We can kind of look at the shorter term time frames and see where price found some interest, right? So we could see right here, big gobbledygook, right? A lot of kind of congestion right here. So what we can do is put an area map around that, and that gives us a very interesting area of interest, right? So huge break out of there, right? So once we got out of that area, boom, big move up there. Then guess what happened? Price was attracted back to that area where it spent a lot of time, right? Back down again, right? So we can see you had another area of interest right here, right? So that ended up being a very important level too, right? So once we got out of that level, we had a big move, came back, retested that area of interest, right? And back up again. And once it flushed through here, it formed this other fresh area, and it gets a little bit congested. But look what it did. It came back to the original area of interest, right? Bounced off of it a few times until it finally decided to break out of this area of interest, right? So good stuff, right? This is a really cool tool to use, and it's very simple, but it takes a clean chart and helps us focus on areas that can be very powerful to trade against. Just real quick, one that I want to point out is DKNG, right? This is one that we've been talking about for a while. So one of the things that I mentioned was that, DKNG, using the Elliott wave pattern, looked like that it could continue to work its way down based on a zigzag retrace. Right, here's your move right here, ABC up, and then another fifth wave down. And I said it would probably pause around this area right here. Why? Because this was a huge area of interest, right? So here it spent time here and here. So if we go to a clean chart, right? So if we go to a clean chart, we kind of put an area around this zone right here. Right, so we had congestion here before we broke out, and look where we got to. So it makes a perfect target there when things are really moving, and you can get a good wave count on it, or have a good trend line on it with a trend line breakdown. And you can see that momentum is working its way to the downside, especially if you have some extra volume. Right, this is where I was basically saying DKNG would get to. And then the idea is that it would probably chop around for a while there. Why was that? Why have I been saying that? Because it chopped around there in the past, right? So now we got earnings coming up. So there's a very, very potential chance here that it chops around until earnings, and then we'll see what it does, right? If they have good earnings, then we may get out of the area of interest. We may come back again, retest it, and then we might bounce out of it, right? So, but this is definitely an area of concern, and it also made a great target on that short move. And the other cool thing too, right, is that we looked at it as a symmetrical move, right? So we had this right here, nice symmetry. Right here's your zigzag down, ABC, right? And we just did a duplicate move right here, there. Right, so it gets us right into the area of interest. So target acquired on DKNG. Anyway, good stuff. I hope you guys found that helpful. And at this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we will get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. So Shirley sent a few in via email. And so let's take a look here and see what Shirley says. So once again, guys, thanks for keeping Shirley in your thoughts and prayers. She gets better all the time. Let's take a look at Zoom. So Zumba. So guys, it's pretty cool stuff, right? We talked about this weekend. Be sure, if you guys didn't check out last Sunday, where we did the Ride in the Waves with John and Paul, where we talk about Elliott Wave going into the week, right? One of our discussion points was Zoom, right? And to me, it looked like that we were working on a zigzag because of this impulsive move down, right? So very, very similar to that DKNG. Now, the symmetrical move is basically down here, right? I just took this line from here to here, and then I took it from the kind of the ABC retrace right here, and then dragged it down. So to me, it looks like it's working on an ABC move. So it may have a little bit more to go, and guess where that would get to? The middle of the triangle, which would be an area of interest. So we'll see how it holds right there if it gets down any farther, and maybe it'll get a bounce out of there, very possible, and could start a fresh wave up. Otherwise, if it breaks down, you got some other levels below to take a look at. So good stuff there. We'll see if it gets any downside follow through on that one. Nice one there, Shirley. Piton. In fact, I'm going to put Zoom on the bearish radar for tomorrow. Give me 1 second. Let me update this. Tomorrow is Friday. Can you believe it's already Friday tomorrow? So good stuff. This should be pretty fun. I'm happy about that because the majority of the go-to list, even though a lot of them might be gapping down tomorrow, we should get a little bit of a vol crush and maybe get some good day trades out of it tomorrow, which would be great. So let's keep an eye on that right here. Let's put Zoom here on the bearish radar. And we had a pretty wild day today across the board, so lots of good stuff coming through. Good stuff. Hold on, let me put one more thing note in here. I think next week's objects. Okay, so good stuff there. All right. So Piton. Okay, so Piton, wow. So it really looked like it was starting to recover right here. Like, I wanted to see it get over the ADMA. It kind of closed right at it yesterday. It was on the bullish radar today just to see if it could start to work its way up there, maybe a little bit of an earnings run. And it pulled back today with, pretty harshly, right? So it ended up closing right at the 382, but a little bit of a push below it off of this last wave up. So let's see how it holds in here. Again, just kind of on the radar right here. If it breaks down again, next level down is that 109 area. So that could be pretty interesting there. CRWD. Another nice one right here. So again, guys, look at that. Nice retrace right here, guys. 618 retrace on the first move down and get another impulsive move down here to the cloud. So that did get some downside follow through here, and it's basically at an area of interest right here, at a prior congestion zone. So let's see how that holds on CRWD. FSLY. Yeah, FSLY, again, earnings day, right? So bearish engulfing candle today. Again, not really on a reversal engulfing candle, but possibly a momentum engulfing candle to work its way down. Next big area of interest on FSLY is here, right down there. Big area, right? So that's right around the 200-day moving average. So let's see if it gets any follow through the downside. Again, they're struggling, right? I know the CEO came out and said, I'm more bullish than ever. Okay, we need to find some contracts to replace TikTok, right? So we got that going on. AMWL, American Well. So American Well, we talked about that this weekend, right? See if we can get a bounce off this level again. One of the things we said is let's see if we can close above the ADMA, and it didn't do it. So it took an inside day down yesterday and some nice follow through the downside on that one. So open gap below right here off of its IPO level. So see how that level holds, maybe into earnings. So it could be pretty interesting on that one. And then EA, Electronic Arts. So we talked about this one we talked about Take-Two. And so this one's kind of working its way down here. We got the 200-day moving average right at it, right? So let's just kind of put a line on this one there. Okay, and like we basically are holding these levels right here. So a bit of a descending triangle right here, but lots of lower shadows at these levels. So be careful. It's got some congestion right there too. So see if this can hold its support. Otherwise, you got your 200-day moving average below and earnings coming up on this one. So good stuff. Thanks, Shirley. I really appreciate it. Great stuff. Mike, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're doing well. Good evening. Yeah, let's take a look at Tesla. All right. So Tesla. I mean, honestly, right? We got the upward trend line right here. We got an inside day on Tesla today. Really, ultimately, at this point, it looks like it's triangulating, right? So we got this going on Tesla. Pretty powerful stuff. So we're kind of in this choppy zone right now. We're holding the cloud. The 8 has crossed over the 50. We're below the 8 and the 50. So overall, we're leaning pretty bearish on it. See how it holds this geometric line. If it can hold here, look to see if we can get a strong close. Maybe that 80 MA will come down. We'll close above it, close above the cloud, and this thing will get going over there. So definitely keep an eye on that one. NVIDIA. Gave a great trade today on Tesla, by the way. Nice intraday stuff. Members caught that big pop there. When that volume comes in on Tesla like that on a breakout of a key level, it's go time, right? So it was fast move, about 15 minutes, but it pays the bills, right? So we get that going on there. NVIDIA inside day today. Looking pretty sketchy, right? So curling over right here, declining 80 MA, right? So this one is also looking a bit like a triangle, very, very similar to Tesla. So let's see how that holds right here. Again, here's your next level down on NVIDIA. So something to keep an eye on there. And then GLD. See how nice it is when you have clean charts? Anyway, GLD, guys, triangle breakdown, right? So a little bit of follow through the downside right here. Here's your next level down on GLD. Okay, see if that can hold. A couple gaps below, but again, it likes to gap because futures move all around the place overnight. So good stuff. Thanks, Mike. Really appreciate it. Ankit, what's going on? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Let's take a look at Home Depot. So we talked about that. The home builders were a little bit strong the other day, and then I think we had some home sale numbers out today. I think all the economic numbers were better than expected. So we had that going on right here. You got a little bit of a geometric line right here that it seems to be holding, so see if that can hold. Right, that's kind of the big area right there, and then you got this level above. So nice open gap above, doji day below the cloud. So if it wants to rally off of these levels right here, this 266, 265 level, see if that can do that. So that'd be good. UNH, big breakdown candle yesterday, as I recall. Yep, big breakdown candle, nice follow through the downside on this one. This is an old pitchfork level. This is the bottom of a prior pitchfork on this guy, right? So from this pivot level, from this high to this high, all over the place on this thing. So not a clean chart. But anyway, it's holding that pitchfork midpoint line, so see how that holds on that one, or the lower line on that one. Below that, you got the 200-day. CVX, earnings tomorrow, I believe, right? Wait, no. Yeah, earnings tomorrow. So, wow, nice bullish engulfing candle at the close today. Wow. I wonder if that thing's ready to go. Let's keep an eye on it. See if it gives us a gap up there on CVX. That would be cool. And then see where it goes from there. But nice candle today before earnings. Beautiful. And then BP, another oil name. Remember, guys, BP is an ADR, so gaps all over the place. But wow, this thing's been trending down for a while. Look at that 80 MA, like almost a perfect trend line on this one. Just that 80, just holding below there. Again, let's see if we can close. Big volume coming in here too. Let's see if we can get above these levels. And if oil is ready to make a move. Good stuff on that. Awesome. Angel Tesla! I love it. So we got that going on right here. Again, we just talked about the triangle on Tesla right here. Inside day, so see how those levels hold tomorrow. Maybe it'll be a fun trade tomorrow. Greetings from New York. I love it. Puts on Netflix, pins, Apple. Cash cows for the day. Great. Awesome stuff. Good job today on those. Yeah, Netflix. Well, Netflix is a little bit tricky, right? So unless you caught the top on that one. Big breakout candle today. This is one we were talking about holding the 786 this weekend, and it finally gave a nice push up there to the 50-day moving average. So first target acquired on Netflix. Pins, yeah. If you caught the high, this was we talked about this as a potential gap and go, but this one was gapped up pretty high right there. So we talked about the potential of it being an exhaustion gap. Right, because it's already gapped up a lot, right? Here's your first gap right here. Then there's another gap right here, and then it gapped up again. So, again, it gave a nice little gap and go move this morning, right? We held the pre-market lows, we broke through the pre-market highs for a nice little push there, right? And then it took the inside 15 doji upper shadow, and then it came back down. So rough little shadow there on pin. So I'm actually gonna put that on the bearish radar for tomorrow too, just to see if it starts to get into that gap, right? So if Twitter had a really rough earnings report, so if this thing really kind of gets in the gap, it could be pretty interesting going into tomorrow. Might see some downside action on that one. Apple, tough one today on Apple. Premium is a little bit high, but it did give a nice push here today. Look at that one after hours. And they beat on earnings and revenue too, but trying to rally a little bit on this one. See how it handles the 618 retrace from the earnings move, but it did give it a strong move up today. Nice double inside 15 up today off the ADMA. You got to love those. So good stuff there. Yeah, Angel, your chart is full of lines. I love it. So, Srilatha Manoj, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in to ATVI. Let's take a look. ATVI, they reported tonight. Yep. So they pushed down a little bit off of that one. I think they're coming out with a new World of Warcraft type game on this one. It's pretty interesting stuff right here. It's looking a little bit soggy, right? It's bleh, bleh, bleh. So we'll keep an eye on it, see if it holds these levels. This is a big level right here for ATVI. ATVI is not a huge mover. It's a tough one to trade, right? But just kind of keep an eye on these geometric levels right here and see how they hold. So we've got that going on there with ATVI, and then Take Two. Again, another gamer name right here. Earnings coming up, I believe, next week, right? So we got to go in here. Really tight triangle here. We broke down a little bit, kind of put a lower shadow off of that one, so just kind of watch those levels there. The gamer names are tough to trade, just FYI. UPS. Again, UPS. So I believe they got an upgrade this morning. KeyBank gave them a little bit of an upgrade. This thing is in a huge congestion zone right here, so it may chop around in here for a little bit. It might start to form like kind of a head and shoulders type pattern, so something to keep an eye on there. Geo, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at Apple. Again, down after earnings on Apple. It's down about 5 points here. So we're looking at a gap down to about like right here. We'll see what kind of action we get tomorrow, right? If we can get strong tomorrow, we might see a rally on Apple. I mean, all these companies that are down here beat on earnings and revenue, right? So we got that down there. If it starts to push down here below these levels, we got an open gap right here that might be a potential target for it if the market wants to be bearish. So I love it. Good stuff. Thanks to you, Rob. Coach, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look, see what we got going on here. So we got PLT. Plantronics. Okay, yeah, so like we said, looking at a little cup and pattern handle list right here. A nice little move after earnings, right? So a good move right there. So let's see. Wait, earnings were they before? They were after the close. Okay, so it already made a move. Nice, yeah, big push over there. Hit 23, so that's going to be a big level to look at for tomorrow. Right, it's got to get above that if it really wants to gap and go, but it's gapping up here. So see if we can get push above there. But yeah, I like how it pushed above these levels here. It's starting to look cup and handle-ish, right? Almost like sideways cup and handle-ish right here, which I like. Right, got a nice gap up there through earnings. Good stuff. Nice find on that one. Zen. Let's take a look at Zen. Yeah, so Zen right to the geometric line right here. Decent candle today. So we got earnings after hours. So Zen is up to 114 after hours. So it's getting really close right here. See if we can push above 116. It might get a gap and go on it. OMI. Owens and Minor. So pretty interesting right here. Looking bull flaggish going into earnings next week. So definitely want to keep an eye on there. Neo. Beautiful stuff on Neo. Big move today, guys. We talked about this bull flag several times. Inside day yesterday. Just pushed today, right? The Chinese names were strong. This one was strong too. Nice pullback here at 50 order. Members did well on this one at the open, but look at that follow through on this one. Whoa! And then this one also gave a double inside 15 up off the 8 EMA. Beautiful stuff on Neo. Woo! Keep an eye on that one on the radar tomorrow. See if it gives us another pause day on that one. But this thing just been plowing up, triangle, up, flag, up. Thing's been epic. And I think they sold like 5,000 cars. Okay. Anyway, eventually this thing will reverse, but so far it's just been super duper strong. Great find on that one too. Yeah, nice job on that one. Beautiful job, Coach. Nice job. Amit, what's going on? Beyond. Say what Beyond. So Beyond down another $4 today. Whew. Well, it definitely blew through the 618 that we were talking about. So this thing is pulling back something fierce. So it's a big move down here again, starting to look like a DKNG. We're in this big congestion zone right here. Let's see how this area holds for it. Okay, it's a big level right there. Otherwise, you got the cloud, see how it holds, and then might see a little bounce off of earnings or something like that. So yeah, they go in there. Rochelle, what's going on? Good to see you. OSTK, let's take a look. So OSTK, nice down move off of earnings. Look at that candle. Woo-hoo! Definitely want to keep an eye on that one right here. We are right here. Oop, let me get the trend lines up. We are right here at this little pivot right here. So see if that holds. But we'll also look for a little Jack and Box trade, see if we get an inside day tomorrow on Overstock. Nice find on that one. Marvel. Some weird news on Marvel today. I didn't quite understand it. I thought there was like some sort of buyout news or something like that. Mega merger. Marvel seeks data center depth with 8 billion infi buy. So yeah, they shelled out a bunch of money, or $8 billion. They're going to shell out a bunch of money for a buy, right? So it was down this morning, and then they bought the dip on it today. So that was really nice right there. Kind of triangulating the close, a little 60 anchor on the close right there. See if the semis get strong, right? They could get another move up right there, but nasty upper shape. Ended up filling the gap and then pulling back. So good stuff on that one. Nice find. Great stuff. Cameron, what's going on? Twitter. Rutro. Twitter down 10 points. Whoa. Let's see how that one holds right here. So we're at 43.20 right now. Down here, right down to the cloud. Sheesh. So expected gap down there tomorrow. So kind of an interesting area, kind of a congestion zone, right at the cloud. We'll see if it's strong tomorrow. Might give a little bit of a rally. But wow, big disappointment there on its earnings. I think they beat on earnings, but anyway, all these names just that did well, just like ended up doing just having weak charts after earnings. So we had that going on. That's to tell you guys, earnings are a gamble. That's why we don't mess with them, right? Workhorse. Nice one, yeah. So this one's right here into the prior congestion zone right here. So see if it can hold, right? It might take a little bit of time, right? Reminds me a lot of DKNG right here. See how it does after earnings on this one. I don't think they make any money, but that could be a little bit rough right there. Watch for if it does gap down. Watch your open gap down here and your 200-day moving average. So you got that going on there too. Tracy, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Car. Let's take a look. Avis. Okay. Hertz was halted after hours. What was that all about? Kind of flaggish right here. I like how it closed over the ADMA. So it's a nice move there. Earnings were tonight, right? So we got that going on here. So kind of just chopping around a little bit right here. Nasty levels. This is not really a good, a tough momentum name here to trade. What did HDZ end up doing? Why did that get halted? Some sort of news on this one. Let's take a look here. I didn't even post it. So yeah, it was halted for some reason after. I was not sure what the reason was on it, but anyway, very, very interesting stuff. Good stuff on Car. Let's take a look at Shop. Nasty day today on Shop. Nasty day today on Shop. Big down move here. Earnings, right? So we had earnings this morning, right? It was I think they had an earnings beat, but it ended up pulling back pretty harshly right here. Some big volume. So see if it gives a pause day tomorrow and see which way it moves off of that one. Could be interesting. And then Chewy. Well, it filled the gap. So we got it filled the gap right there. So let's see how that holds, right? If it holds right here, right, you got your ADMA right here. Might try to go for a little bit of a bounce on that one. Could be interesting there too. Great stuff. Thanks, Tracy. Appreciate it. Gio, what's going on? Good to see ya. Thanks for tuning in. VRYYF. Let's see the very good food company. I like it. Yeah, very good chart here today. Nice push up there. Penny stock, but a nice move. Watch your upper shadow on that one. Triple M, the heartbreaker. This is a tough stock right here. This thing will act like it's breaking out and pull back all the time. This thing is just nasty. A little bit of bounce off the 200 days to see if it holds off of that one. FSOY. Again, down off of earnings. Look for potential fall through the downside. It looks like it's free falling right here, so a little bit of caution off of that one. And V. Not sure too many people want to own that one right now. It was epic for a while. It was epic it really is impressive, right? You go back to FSOY. We talked about this for months. Right, how much this thing was going up, right? Just go and go and go and go, and then it started to correct a little bit, right? Then it pushes again. It's like, oh yeah, FSOI's work, and then boom, it's over, right? It's just crazy, right? You think about that, this thing moving up, and then the huge swings on these things. Anyway, amazing stuff. V. Yeah, so Visa had some earnings going on, and I thought they had a beat on earnings, but they ended up gapping down too. I mean, just the same thing across. Oh, you beat on earnings? Cool, you're down, right? So yeah, they got to manipulate this thing somehow so they can try to buy the dip again. So keep an eye on it, right? It made an attack at the gap today. It's a nice move there. Let's take a look at Square. Square again, kind of working on this funky bullish type flag right here. I mean, it's pretty big to be a bull flag, but let's just it's basically in a corrective pattern right now. Let's see if we can break out of it and switch trend on it. And MA, another credit card company right there. Yeah, kind of like a little doji right here, right? So let's see how that holds. A little rough, a little rough around the edges there, but we'll see if it goes. MasterCard can move. Sometimes it moves a little bit better than Visa. Good stuff. Angel, thanks so much, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Emmett, thank you so much. Angel, yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah, definitely. So if you're new here, definitely hit subscribe. And whether you're new here or not, please hit the like button. It goes a long way. We always appreciate it. Hepcat, what's going on? EXPI, let's take a look. Oh, Hertz was delisted. Thanks, Coach. I appreciate that one. Yeah, VICI. Yeah, looking pretty good right here. So it kind of came back down here to this geometric line and bounced off of that. Inside day up today and over the ADMA. So let's see if that can hold right there. Let's see if we can make a push. Nice find on that one. And then VICI, let's take a look. James, thanks. Yeah, wow. Woo. Yeah, I heard it was halted. Yeah, it was bound to come, right? I mean, they were declaring bankruptcy and all that. So I buy Hertz. Hertz, don't it? So yeah, that would go there. Yeah, I think Nationwide Rental was like my favorite. So anyway, so good stuff there. So VICI Properties, pretty interesting stuff right there. Earnings today what's going on with this one here? When were earnings on this one? Earnings were this morning. Yeah, so up a little bit after earnings on that one. Nice for some of these property names. Let's even get over this little this kind of falling wedge type pattern. So good stuff there. Thanks guys on HTZ. So Coach, you were late. You did explain why so many buyers came into Netflix off that news. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, there's really no explanation. I mean, basically Netflix came in and said like they're going to raise prices, and it was like okay, bullish, right? So it just kind of worked its way back up. But that's so dangerous for Netflix, right? I mean, because they almost got delisted one time when they doubled prices back in 2009 during the economic crisis, and it's like nobody could afford anything, so they're like, okay, well, I'm not going to pay for Netflix, double the price, right? So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, do people want to pay more money to watch the same things over and over again? Maybe the market thought so today, but we'll see how that ends up playing out. But pretty interesting stuff there. Christian, what's going on? Good to see you. Take a look at PayPal. Yeah, my pleasure, Coach. Thanks so much for your support. I appreciate it. Let's see. So PayPal inside day today, again, below the 80 EMA, so watch these levels going in tomorrow. Earnings coming up pretty soon on that one for sure. Mark, what's going on? AMD. Yeah, we can take a look at AMD. So AMD been pretty interesting right here, right? So it's kind of the whole area right here is a congestion zone, right? So we got kind of bearish on this thing after the Xilinx news. This was a great level right here. It's a nice 618 retrace off of these highs that gave us a nice down move on AMD, and then it kind of came up a little bit and then down again, right? So so pretty cool stuff right there. Again, today a little bit of an upper shadow right here, trying to be green. It's in this big area of interest, right? This old congestion zone right here. So see if it holds. Again, AMD is prone to this type of action, right? And then it breaks out and moves again, right? So we've seen this a lot on AMD. This is blah, 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 then break up, blah, blah, break out, blah, blah, right? So it's I think we're in the blah, blah zone right now. So we got that going on AMD right now. But it's still a fun one to trade, and it gives us some nice day trades sometimes. So especially at the open. So we like that. ATVI, sorry if I missed that one. Yep, so ATVI, again, earnings. After hours today, again, just one more check on this one. Yeah, so it's kind of hanging in there back in yesterday's range. So what we got here is a descending triangle on this one. So really just kind of see how it holds these levels if it decides to work its way back down. So good stuff there. And then Zumba. Again, guys, Zumba, this is a fun one. This is one we profiled this weekend. A little battle of Elliott Wave. Sometimes, we have different wave counts. Paul was seeing it as bullish. I was like, I don't know. I think it's probably going to pull back and finish the zigzag. And it ended up pulling back to the zigzag right here. So we're basically right at the prior triangle range area. Eventually, see if it holds there. If not, watch out for the 50-day below on Zoom. So good stuff. Read Netflix original content has demand. Nice. Yeah, they do a lot of stuff right there. So I guess they got that. And if you can't go to the movie theaters anymore, we got Netflix. So, but tomorrow is all about Disney Plus, guys. Mandalorian season 2 starting tomorrow. I am going to resubscribe to Disney Plus tomorrow. Can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. As soon as we're done with the close tomorrow, we get all the work done. We're gonna watch some Mando. It's gonna be awesome. AMD to 100. I love it. Kamed, what's going on? You watch the pre-market lunch and market wrap videos and every awesome, man. They truly help and have helped improve your shit. That's great, man. I really appreciate that. That's my goal. So I really appreciate that. Thanks so much. Mark. Yeah, my pleasure. Merit forever. What's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Read. Oh yeah, you gotta catch season 1. You gotta catch season 1. Just take a week. I think it's like a week. I can't remember how many episodes there were. Say one a day. Oh, they're epic. They're so good. Just one a day, and then you can start with the new season. Oh, they're so awesome. It's just something fun. There's not much fun stuff out there these days, so it's kind of just one of those things. We've been looking forward to it. But good stuff right there. And then zoomed, yeah, just watch that potential zigzag move. It's got a little potential downside movement right here to get to the middle of that triangle area. And if it breaks down even further, you got the 50-day on that one. So good stuff there. Well, awesome, guys. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening. I love the chart requests, love the questions, and I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your evening and a great trading day tomorrow, and also a wonderful weekend. So looking forward to this weekend. We're going to be wrapping up our series. We've been talking a lot about market profile in our newsletter. So if you're not a member, definitely look at subscribing, checking out the newsletter. It gives us a lot of prep into the week ahead, and it helps us stay focused in the week and the trading days ahead. So good stuff there. Definitely check that out. Link is in the description. Also, again, if you're new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube. And whether you're new here or not, please hit the like button. It goes a long way. And even if you're watching the recording, please hit the like button. I really do appreciate it. So, all right, guys. All right, guys. Well, I hope everybody has an awesome rest of your evening. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first, and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.